Madness, as you know, is like gravity.
All it takes is a little push.
The Joker, he represents the boiling voice of the accuser and just how far those accusations can push us over. Let's dive deep into The Dark Knight.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my theological analysis for Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. This is probably one of my favorite movies ever. I love The Dark Knight. Batman is so awesome. He's got some of the best movies. He's got some of the best stories. Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale did that guy justice. Well, maybe Christian Bale's voice throughout The Dark Knight was not quite my favorite, but you know, putting that aside, who cares, man? Heath Ledger really stole this thing. What did you think of The Dark Knight? Let's talk about that in the comments.
You didn't think I'd risk losing the battle for Gotham's soul in a fistfight with you. You need an ace in the hole. Mine's Harvey.
The Dark Knight presents a fascinating picture to me. It's very symbolic because what you have is the soul of Gotham City, and the film is about the battle for that soul. You have the Joker, the accuser, and you have Batman, the advocate. Batman is fighting for the good of the soul of Gotham City, while Joker is the accuser looking to accuse the soul of Gotham City, to break it, to destroy it. As he himself says, he is an agent of chaos. And he wants to show that this rule of law, this established order, it's nothing but a great big joke.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds. I try to show the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are.
And I think Batman hit the nail on the head when he said to the Joker,
"What were you trying to prove? That deep down, everyone's as ugly as you."
I think that's what the Joker wanted to do. So if Batman represents the advocate, and if the Joker represents the accuser, I think Harvey Dent is the picture of the soul of Gotham City. Now, take a look at the job of the accuser. Here's what the accuser does. When Harvey has lost his girl, Rachel, when Harvey's face has all been burnt up and he becomes Two-Face, this is where temptation really happens. Now look, deep down in our souls, we all have that battle, that struggle for dark and light. That's why in Harvey's past and internal affairs, he's got the nickname Harvey Two-Face, because he's got that white knight side of him, but he's also got a very dark streak in him. We see the dark streak come out in that scene where the Joker makes the attempt on the mayor of Gotham's life, where he makes the attempt on Gordon's life. And when that happens, what does Harvey Dent do? He captures the dude that has the tag that says Rachel Dawes on it, because it's the name of the Joker's next target. And because that's the love of his life, he's freaking out. So he captures the guy, takes him to this alley, puts a gun to his head, flipping his coin. Heads you live, tails you die. That is the freaking dark side, the Two-Face side. And Batman the Advocate shows up in that scene and says, you can't do things this way. This is not who you are. You represent the soul of Gotham. You have to remain in the light. And that's the advocate leading him back into the light, reminding him of who he's meant to be so that he can fully step into his destiny. But when Harvey is sitting in that hospital bed, the job of the accuser then is to tempt him, to make the light look so bad and to make the darkness look so good.
You were a schemer, you had plans, and look where that got you.
He is tempting Harvey to step down from that place of authority that Harvey is at. He's tempting Harvey to step down from the light and step into darkness, because after all, he was in the light. He was trying to do things the right way, and the Joker still blew up Rachel. What did all the schemers and their plans do to save your girl? Maybe you belong where I am, because if you step down to where I am, you can take care of that pain. When you step down to where I am, you can do what seems right to you and take care of this the way you want to, a way that's fair.
Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's fair.
And it works. He gets tempted from the light into the dark, and Harvey Dent falls. So the accuser makes the dark look good and the light look bad. And then the moment Harvey steps into the dark, condemns him for it. Their spirits will break when they see the evil that he's done.
Till their spirit breaks completely. until they get a good look at the real Harvey Dent.
Oh, isn't that evil so good? And doesn't it look so delicious? Step down into it. You stepped into it, you evil thing. I mean, that's what the accuser does. Tempts and then condemns for the yielding to the temptation.
I took Gotham's White Knight, and I brought him down to our level.
And so when I look at that and I look at this picture, it concludes with Batman taking on the guilt of Harvey Dent. And when Batman takes on the guilt of Harvey Dent, it stops the spirits of Gotham from breaking. When he takes on the guilt, because he can do it, because he can take it, when he takes on Harvey's guilt, Harvey remains the White Knight to Gotham City.
Nothing less than a knight.
To me, that's a very messianic picture, because in the battle for our souls, we have an advocate and we have an accuser. And that accuser wants to tempt us from the light into the dark, making the dark look so enticing. When we sin, when we fall, when we yield and go into the darkness, the accuser then comes and just rips into us and condemns us for falling. Period. But we have an advocate. In 1 John chapter 2, it says this, "But if anyone does sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ the righteous one. And he himself is the atoning sacrifice for our sins. And not only for our sins, but for the whole world." It's amazing to think about that. Jesus took on that role of taking our guilt. But you see, Batman, all he did was take Harvey's guilt. Jesus became our guilt. He became the curse. In Galatians chapter 3, it says he became the curse so that we can be set free from the curse. So he literally became our guilt. And in his death, our guilt was paid for. It was dealt with. It's done. In his resurrection, we get a brand new life. In other words, we stand in front of God innocent, period. So when we let him in our lives, we truly do become something brand new that stands in front of God completely guiltless. When you watch The Dark Knight, what do you think of this movie? What picture do you see in it? Let's talk about that in the comments. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for my next theological analysis, movie review, ranking video, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.